again, you're listening to the Ratio Podcast. We've fought over who has the right to possess the property. Now, we're talking about how to actually take it back or split it up.
And more importantly, what happens when someone refuses to follow the court's orders? That's where contempt comes in, the court's feet.
There are two ways to lose a house, judicially or extrajudicially.
Britannia versus Jepti and Standard Chartered Bank versus Philippine Investment 2 highlight the procedural boundaries. Rule 68 Judicial Foreclosure. This is a full-blown court case. The ratio, it results in a judgment that directs the sale of the property. There is generally no right of redemption, only an equity of redemption. 90 to 120 days to pay before the sale. Extrajudicial foreclosure or Act 3135 is the fast track done via a notary or sheriff.
In Britannia versus Jepti, the court thought that if the mortgage is invalid, the court cannot order foreclosure. However, it can still issue a monetary judgment for the loan itself. Partition is for when co-owners cannot get along anymore.
Just like expropriation, it has two stages. Stage 1 is the court determines if co-ownership exists and if partition is proper, and this order is appealable. Stage 2 is if the parties can't agree on how to split the land, the court appoints 3 commissioners to do it. The ratio here is that you cannot skip stage 1. You must first prove you are a co-owner before the court discusses where the fence goes.
This is the bread and butter of the MTC. Let's look at Napocor versus Spouses Lurin. Napocor versus Lurin provides a masterclass of the public use exception. The ratio is that if a public utility has already occupied land for decades for a public purpose, an action for unlawful detainer is no longer the proper remedy.
The court thought that you cannot kick the government off land if it's serving the public. Instead, the owner's remedy is an action for just compensation.
Finally, contempt. Harbor Center Port Terminal versus La Filipina Uigonco and Spouses Rodriguez versus HLURB.
And contempt is divided into direct and indirect. Direct contempt is the misbehavior in the presence of the court. Example is the shouting at the judge. Punish summarily, no hearing needed. Indirect contempt is disobeying a written order. Example is refusing to follow an injunction. It requires a verified petition and a hearing. And the case of Province of Maguindanao del Norte reminds us about mandamus. If an official refuses a ministerial duty, they can eventually be cited for contempt if they ignore the court's command to act.
We've reached the final gavel. From the appellate minefield in Episode 1 to Mechanics of Respect in Episode 9, we have mapped the DNA of Philippine civil procedure.
It has been an intense journey through the rules of court. If there is one singular ratio for this entire series, it is this. Substantive rights are only as strong as the procedural tools used to protect them. Our deepest gratitude goes to Attorney Felmanda Kamat, the Dean of the College of Law and Criminal Justice Education. Dean, thank you for challenging us to look beyond the black letter of the law to find the heart of every decision.
Your passion for legal excellence has been our compass through the complexities of the rules of court. You've taught us that the law is not just a profession, but a commitment to order and fairness. We carry these lessons forward as we prepare to transition from students to advocates. I'm Gideon, reminding you that the law favors the vigilant, not those who sleep on their rights.
And I'm Chomar, reminding you that behind every great argument is a perfectly filed motion. And this has been the Ratio Podcast. Case closed.